You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. CJ, one of the things that's very curious to me, and I remember in 2017, one of the first things that your party did was repeal anti-discrimination rules in auto loans. And it struck me as interesting that Republicans stood on the floor of the House and they said, we need to just stop this. We're all Americans. But they didn't want to deal with the discrimination. In fact, this is a previous edition of Roland Martin Unfiltered. Listen, and then I need to get your response. Auntie Maxine, Henry, go to my iPad.
Make sure that we're making America great every day in every way. And the best way to do that is to stop talking about discrimination and start talking about the nation. We're coming together as a people in spite of what you say. Thank you, gentlemen. I yield back.
Gentleman's time has expired. Members are reminded to address their remarks to the chair. The gentleman from Texas reserves, the gentlelady from California.
Thank you very much. The gentleman, Mr. Kelly, please do not leave because I want you to know that I am more offended as an African-American woman than you will ever be. And this business about making America great again, it is your president that's dividing this country. And don't talk to me about the fact that we don't understand what happens on the automobile. No, I will not yield. No, I will not yell.
Okay.
Don't tell me that we don't understand. That's the attitude that's been given toward women time and time again.
The gentlelady will suspend. The chair wishes to remind all members that they are to address their remarks to the chair.
I respect the chair, but don't stop me in the middle when you didn't stop him in the middle. And so I shall continue. Don't you dare talk to me like that and think that somehow women don't understand what goes on the floor of automobile dealers.
Minded to direct her remarks to the chair. The gentlelady will continue in order.
I will continue to do that. However, I don't appreciate that you did not interrupt him when he was making those outrageous remarks about him knowing more about discrimination than I know about discrimination. I resent that, and I resent the remark about making America great again. He's down here making a speech for this dishonorable president of the United States of America. Having said that, I reserve the balance of my time, and no, I do not yield not 1 second to you. Not 1 second. Not 1 second to you.
So, CJ, what I found to be interesting is that literally is one of the first bills they repealed. So, Republicans love talking about what they did and what should happen and how we should all get along. But there's real discrimination when it came to auto loans. January 6th, a lot of people who think like you, people who you stood with, were there here in D.C. How many N-words black cops were called? I haven't seen white Republicans condemn that. In fact, they have pretty much sided with the insurrectionists versus the cops. Where are you and black Republicans on that? Why are y'all silent? Why did Colin Powell go down to North Carolina and condemn the voter suppression law to the governor's face there, but you and other black Republicans are silent? In fact, y'all are endorsing the same voter suppression.
Because these aren't voter suppression laws.
No. Deal with the first thing first. I gave you 3 things. First, deal with the auto discrimination. Deal with that first. Second, deal with the second thing, then deal with voter third. Deal with the first one first.
Yeah, let's do the first thing. Auto discrimination, I think discrimination anywhere is wrong. And I think that at the end of the day, I listened to that speech. The tone was just wrong. I'm not going to endorse
No. That was a speech. Your party literally repealed the rules that Obama put in. Did you and other black Democrats tell your party y'all should not be repealing discrimination laws?
Here's the deal. I think at the end of the day, we have to look at where our country is going, and we need to move forward past this.
No. You didn't answer my question. When they were voting to repeal these anti-discrimination laws against black folks when it came to auto loans, did you and other black Republicans say a word to your own party to say, this is not right, you should not be repealing anti-discrimination laws?
I'll be honest. I'll be upfront. I wasn't familiar with the issue at the time, but I think in the grand scheme of things, you look at discrimination, just condemn that. And I also believe, though, that to the point that the congressman was making, that we do have to move forward.
But CJ, how do we move forward if we don't confront discrimination?
We can talk about that. Morgan Freeman, I think.
No. I don't want to talk about it. I want to outlaw it. I want to get rid of it. But when Republicans led that, they literally led the effort to get rid of the laws. How does that make us great again?
I don't think that legislation was about making America great again. I think it was about the idea that we need to move past this entire consummation with race, this infatuation. The point I was making about Morgan Freeman.
Is it possible for us to move past being discriminated against? See, here's the deal. We black people, we would love to move past it. But here's the other deal. Colin Powell, black Republican, he went to North Carolina and condemned the voter suppression law there. Your party in North Carolina passed a law where they targeted black voters. The court said it was laser-like precision. It was overturned. Did you and other black Republicans condemn that North Carolina law and stand with Colin Powell? If you didn't, why not?
Roland, I got to say, I have a lot of faith in black people. And I believe that it's not a hurdle for black people to go get a voter ID.
No. You did not answer my question. Fellow black Republican, 4-star general Colin Powell, former Secretary of State, former National Security Advisor, stood before and condemned it. It was later discovered, CJ, that Republicans asked specifically, when were black people voting early in North Carolina? 70% voted during the first week. Your party changed the law in order to limit early voting. And then the federal courts later ruled. They had the document. They put it in email where they did it. What I'm asking is, why were you and other black Republicans silent with the targeting of black voters by your party?
And you're also asking why I didn't endorse the ideas being propagated by a 4-star general. Sure, Colin Powell, much respect to him for his service to our country, who's endorsed President Barack Obama, also endorsed President Joe Biden.
No. Can you answer my question?
You want to call him a Republican for the purpose of this debate, but he really isn't that.
No, he is a Republican. First of all, I'm sorry. You told Jane, don't tell you what to say. Now you want to strip Colin Powell of being a Republican. In fact, Colin Powell was a Republican before you were even born.
I don't even think Powell would describe himself as a Republican if you want to look it up.
No, actually he did. Have you actually talked to Colin Powell before?
So he left the Republican
Have you talked to Colin Powell before?
So you're acknowledging.
Have you talked to Colin Powell before?
That's not the point.
No, CJ, just answer the question. Have you ever talked to Colin Powell before?
Once you acknowledge that I'm right.
CJ, yes or no? Yes or no?
Again.
Yes or no? Have you talked to Colin Powell before?
He is no longer Republican.
Have you talked to Colin Powell before? Yes or no?
It was about this election integrity bill.
So see, I'm gonna see right now. See, this is the whole deal. If you're unwilling to even answer the question, you are purposely evading it because you know the answer makes you look bad. And the fact that you can't even
that makes me bad.
CJ, the federal court ruled there was laser-like targeting of black people. Does that not offend you?
Well, here's the deal. Let's look at the facts.
No, yes or no? Does it offend you, yes or no, when Republicans in North Carolina targeted black voters specifically? Does that offend you?
Well, there's no indication of that. Just
no. It was right there. See, let me go to Jane. See, I can't even see Jane. This is the thing that bothers me. The reason, Jane, you were critical of CJ earlier is exactly right there. We literally have evidence. A federal court.
Question, Roland.
CJ, Republican appointees said there was laser-like targeting of black people, and you, as a 18, 19, 20-year-old black Republican, you can't even utter, you know what? My party was wrong. You can't, TJ, you can't even say, damn, my party was wrong. They shouldn't have done that. You are defending it. You are excusing it. You are trying to deflect. You can't even say, damn, that was wrong. Do you know how easy that is?
Because I don't agree with you, Roland. And
so you agree with what Republicans did in North Carolina?
I agree with it. Legislation that advances the idea that our elections should be safe and secure.
There we go right there. See, that's that talking point stuff. That's talking point stuff. See, Jane, here, let me give a fact. Let me get some facts here, Jane. The North Carolina Supreme Court ruled, CJ, the North Carolina Supreme Court ruled, Jane, that there was racial gerrymandering in North Carolina. The federal courts ruled that there was lazy-like targeting of black voters. And your criticism earlier of Jane, I think is on point. When he can't even acknowledge when his own party is wrong in the targeting of black voters, I'm not asking him to renounce being a Republican. I'm not asking him to condemn the entire party. I'm saying, damn, can you at least say, like Colin Powell did, that is wrong? But the fact that he can't even do that is because they are unwilling to stop the grifting game of appealing to white Republicans. And here's the deal, Jane, I know folk like Bob Brown, who's 80-something years old, was a lieutenant for Dr. King, who was the top black person under Nixon. That man been a black Republican twice as long as C.J. been born. And that man has the guts to call out his party. Senator Edward Brooke, the first African-American United States senator since Reconstruction, had the guts to call out his party when they were wrong. I'm just saying, can I get some black Republicans with some guts today who are willing to say, damn it, that ain't right? Jane, go ahead and weigh in, please.
Well, it isn't only black Republicans who won't say that. It's pale-faced Republicans who won't say it, too. You have to realize this is not a problem that is caused by people who are melanaceous. It's a problem that's caused by these melanemic people who have had power for a long time, have used it badly, and who do not want to be in the position of being powerless, and they will do whatever they have to do to see to it that they maintain their power. If you read the book, The System, and you realize that the boys who are on the Business Roundtable are running this whole thing and telling Mr. Trump, whose name I hate to say, but they are telling him what to do, and he's doing exactly what they tell him to. And that's the reason they're in good shape and the rest of us are suffering. We're discussing a problem that need never have been in this country. It didn't have to start, but it did, because people in the South wanted to make money, and they didn't want to, and they couldn't enslave the natives because they couldn't tell the natives apart. So they bought people from the slave traders in Hull, England, and brought them to this country. If that hadn't started, none of this would have started, but none of that would have started if it hadn't been for religion. And right now we are using religion to run this country again. You need to realize that that is more dangerous than racism. Make no mistake about this.
I'm going to give you one more chance, CJ. I'm going to read for you something, and maybe you'll agree with this. And this, go to my computer. The Supreme Court, this is May 15th, 2017. The Supreme Court on Monday refused to revive a restrictive North Carolina voting law that a federal appeals court had struck down as an unconstitutional effort to, quote, target African Americans with almost surgical precision, unquote. That was a bill passed by the North Carolina Republicans. It was signed by Republican governor of North Carolina. Will you, CJ, admit that it is wrong for Republicans to pass voting bills that target African Americans, quote, with almost surgical precision? Yes or no?
I think any legislation that is intentionally racial discriminatory is wrong. This wasn't. At the end of the day, we're looking at
you said this wasn't?
We're looking at things like voter ID and early voting day.
I'm done. Right. So a conservative Supreme Court affirmed the decision of a conservative appeals court, and your deal is, sure, go ahead and let them keep doing it.
What I'm saying is that I think you love to loop this legislation in with what's happening in Georgia and Florida, but that's just
yes, because it's all tied together. It's all tied together.
securing our elections. This isn't about telling black people don't go vote. Roland, do you think so little of our people that we can't secure a voter ID, that we can't go
No.
to the poll?
Hold up. Okay, so explain to me then why y'all are getting rid of almost 3/4 of all ballot drop boxes. Those were secure.
That wasn't the thing before COVID. Like,
No. Those were secure.
But they literally were not a thing in commonplace before COVID. So why do we still need them?
Actually, hold up. In Georgia, they were put into place by the Republican legislature, signed by Republican governor. But now they're bad?
I'm saying that before COVID, they were not mainstream. They were not commonplace.
Are we still in COVID?
Well, we have a vaccine now.
Are we still in COVID?
I'm outside.
Are we still in COVID?
We have a vaccine.
Are we still in a COVID epidemic? Yes or no?
Go get your shot, Roland.
Like I say, see, this is the game right here. This is the game. This is the game, Greg. This is the game that black conservatives like CJ play, and because they know the truth.
People get vaccinated, Roland.
They know the truth, Greg. They know the truth, but again, it's a part of the grift game. If you want to keep the grifting dollars coming through, because let me be real clear. White conservatives love nothing more than somebody black who speaks their language and who use plantation language, because they get to say stuff the white folks can't say, and that's their cover. And if you are a black Republican and you can't even admit when a conservative Supreme Court agreed that it was targeting of black voters, then ain't no hope for you. All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
It's time to be smart. When we control our institutions, we win. This is the most important news show on television of any racial background. Y'all put $2, $3, $4, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30 on this and keep this going. What you've done, Roland, since this crisis came out in full bloom. Anybody watching this, tell your friends. Go back and look at the last 2 weeks, especially of Roland Martin Unfiltered. I mean, hell, go back and look at the last 2 days. You've had sitting United States senators today, Klobuchar and Harris. Whatever you can bring to Roland Martin Unfiltered to support it, please do, because this information may literally save your life.
Watch Roland Martin Unfiltered daily at 6 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, or Periscope, or go to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered Daily Digital Show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com.